We are live.
We are live and welcome everyone to the City Council Finance Committee meeting. I would ask that the clerk please call the roll.
Councilmember Evans,
Present.
Councilmember Harris,
Present.
Councilmember Patterson,
Here.
Vice President Lightfoot,
Present, ma'am. Here.
And we have 4 pieces of legislation today. The first piece is introductory number 117, appropriating firefighters insurance funds. Questions, comments, or concerns on this legislation?
Move it.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Madam Clerk?
the clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 4-0 into the record.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Introductory number 118 is a resolution approving a reappointment to the Rochester Civil Service Commission. Questions, comments, or concerns on introductory number 118?
Move it.
Been moved and second. Second. Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Madam Clerk?
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 4-0 into the record.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Introductory number 150 is authorizing an amendatory agreement with Morrison and Forrester LLP for outside conflict counsel or services relating to the independent investigation authorized by ordinance number 2020-283. Questions, comments, or concerns on introductory number 150?
Move
Hearing
it.
none, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it.
The clerk will enter the
go ahead,
affirmative
Madam
vote of 4-0 into the record.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Introductory number 151 is authorizing a mandatory agreement with Nixon Peabody LLP for outside conflict counsel services relating to the independent investigation authorized by ordinance number 2020-283. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move it.
Been moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Madam Clerk?
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 4-0 into the record.
Thank you. And if there is no other business to come before the Finance Committee, the only thing I'll mention is at our chairs meeting, there were several questions about funds coming in from the feds. Our able budget director has sent out a memo to council members, and I would ask that you please read that memo at your convenience. If there is no other business to come before the Finance Committee, we are adjourned. Thank you.
2 minutes, Dougie Fresh, and you're on. That's not quite it, but it's close.
There you go. But that's
It's a long minute. Okay, at this time, I call the Neighborhood and Business Development Committee to order, and I ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Patterson,
Present.
Councilmember Lupian, Councilmember Lupian, is she here? I don't see her. Councilmember Melendez,
Here.
Vice President Lightfoot.
Here.
Okay.
All right. Introductory number 119, authorizing the sale of real estate. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, I need a motion and a second.
Move it.
Moved by Councilmember Melendez, seconded by Council Vice President Lightfoot.
Second. I got you, bro.
Ain't got no choice. Oh, all right. And so now we vote on the item. All in favor of the item, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Item passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 3-0 into the record.
Introductory number 120, local improvement ordinance establishing the cost of assessments related to the High Falls Business Improvement District and authorizing an agreement. Public hearing to be held at 5 p.m. after the April 8th, 2021 committee meetings. This is a regular ongoing thing. We do it every year. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing
Move it.
none. Moved by Councilmember Melendez, seconded by Council
Second.
Vice President. Okay, and now we vote. All in favor of the item, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed to the item, please say nay. Item passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 3-0 into the record.
Introductory number 121, approving appointments to the Rochester Preservation Board. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, need a
Move
motion? Moved by Councilmember Melendez, seconded by Council Vice President Lightfoot. All in favor of the item, please say aye.
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 All opposed to the item, please say nay. Item passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 3-0 into the record.
Introductory number 122, local improvement ordinance, authorizing special work and services related to South Avenue, Alexander Street, Open Space District. Public hearing to be held 5 p.m. after the April 8th, 2021 committee meetings. Another one that we do every year. Need a motion and a second.
Move it.
Moved by Councilmember Melendez, seconded by Vice President Lightfoot. And now we vote. All in favor of the item, please say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Item passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 3-0 into the record.
Introductory number 123, authorizing agreements related to emergency rent assistance under the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. There were a fair number of questions. Do we have any other questions? Councilmember Gruber.
Thank you. I actually have a comment. It's not a question. Mayor Warren, Commissioner Kirkmeyer, I will share an article that I just read. I'll ask Conda to share it with all council too. In the city of Philadelphia, they just created a system where if anyone is going to file an eviction, they first have to make sure that these funds are utilized appropriately. And now with the great news that landlords can apply on behalf of their tenant, of course, with consent, it could potentially create an opportunity to really make sure that the courts are utilizing every last dollar of these. So I'd love to know if what we can do, what was done in Philadelphia could be conducted here. Obviously, we have different parameters around housing court, but I'll pass that article on and see if it can lead to any fruit.
Appreciate that.
And I'll
All
just
right.
say that I'll have to abstain from this one in the vote.
Okay. How do we do? So do we need to hold this one? We need a motion in a second. We've only got 3 folks on the committee.
Councilmember Lupian just joined the meeting. So she should be able to vote.
Okay. All right, so we are on introductory number 122, local improvement ordinance authorizing, introductory number 123, authorizing agreements related to emergency rent assistance under the American Rescue Plan Act. So we need a motion in a second.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Vice President Lightfoot, seconded by Member Lupian, and now we vote. All in favor of the item, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed to the
Nay.
item, nay. Okay, we have abstention. We voted, and anybody opposed? Nobody opposed. Item.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 301 into the record with Councilmember Melendez abstaining.
Introductory number 124, local improvement ordinance, establishing the cost of special services for the East Avenue Alexander Street Entertainment District. Something I've been grumbling about. I got on council. We can get into it now. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, we need a motion in a second.
Move it.
Moved by
Second.
Vice President Lightfoot, seconded by Councilmember Lupian. And now we vote. All in favor of the item, please say aye.
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 All opposed to the item, please say nay. Item passed.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 4-0 into the record.
All right, introductory number 125, authorizing services and funding agreement, economic development advisory services related to the Bull's Head revitalization. Questions, comments, or concerns? We did have some questions. Is everybody satisfied with the answers you received? Overall? Yeah. Okay. And in that case, we need a motion and a second.
Move it.
Moved by Councilmember Melendez, seconded by
Second.
Vice President Lightfoot. All right, and now we vote. All in favor of the item, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed to the item, please say nay. Item passed.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 4-0 into the record.
Unless there's some other business to come before this committee, we stand adjourned.
I believe we have 4 minutes to wait before I can call the committees.
Yes.
Longest 4 minutes of your life, man.
President Scott, if you're wondering why we're just sitting here, it's because we have a couple minutes. Okay.
Okay, my clock says 15, so I'm gonna ask the clerk to call the Parks and Public Works Committee to order, and please call the roll.
Councilmember Gruber.
Here.
Councilmember Evans.
Present.
Councilmember Pio.
Here.
Vice President Lightfoot.
Present.
President Scott.
Good, Hazel. I saw.
She waved, yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay.
We're going to start with introductory number 126, a bond ordinance of the city of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $634,000 bonds of said city to finance the 2021 annual street maintenance project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
It's been
Second.
moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 127, authorizing an agreement for public art and performance and play spaces. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Councilmember Gruber, I have a question.
Please, Councilmember Harris.
Yes, to Mayor Warren, or I think anyone on the administration, just like to know a little bit more about this. What would the 75,000 cover? I know the transmittal had some details, but if there's any additional details, I would certainly like to hear it.
Councilmember Harris, this is Josanne Reeves. I'll get that information for you in writing, okay?
Thank you.
Just a quick comment.
Please.
Commissioner Jones, thank you. We've been talking about this for quite some time. You said you were going to get it done. You got it done. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question.
Councilmember Pio, go ahead.
Thank you. Who's going to?
I'm sorry, Councilmember Pio, you're frozen.
Can you hear me?
Now, yeah, I can.
Oh.
You might want to start over though.
Who takes care of it in case there's like damage to the area? Is it this group or is it the city?
Councilperson Pio, we are working in collaboration with this group. They are located on Joseph Avenue. Their art will be predominantly in city vacant lots and within the right of way. And we'll be taking on the same approach that we utilize on Art Walk. This is an opportunity for us to not only beautify this corridor, but also provide young people with an opportunity to be exposed and to be turned on by art.
That's excellent. I just want to make sure we keep it up because these art areas, I want to make sure that they stay beautiful.
That's
So I appreciate it.
That's one of the outcomes that we are looking for.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? I would just echo Councilmember Patterson and say thank you to the administration. This is wonderful, and kudos to the Avenue Black Box Theater and the folks from Art Walk. It's a great partnership as well. So I will entertain a motion, please, on introduction number 127.
So moved.
Been
Second.
moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 128, local improvement ordinance, care and embellishment of street malls for 2021-2022. A public hearing to be held at 5 p.m. after the April 8th, 2021 committee meeting. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 129, authorizing an agreement for non-hazardous special solid waste disposal services. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
So moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 130, a bond ordinance of the city of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $300,000 bonds of said city to finance the milling and resurfacing project on Chestnut Street, East Broad Street to East Main Street, East Avenue, East Main Street to Alexander Street, and North Goodman Street, Peck Street to Bay Street, and Clifford Avenue to City Line. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
I have a comment.
Councilmember Patterson.
Again, I'd like to thank the administration for milling and resurfacing North Goodman Street. I immediately looked at the map and saw that there was a section that was excluded. I called the commissioner and he explained to me what was going on. Commissioner, it's my hope that you could just enlighten the public as to what's going to happen in that section that's being left out for the milling and resurfacing that's going to be occurring.
Well, I finally call this the Mike Patterson section because as a new city council person, you and I took a walk down that section. And what's going on there, Mike, the infrastructure, what's beneath the ground is in such poor condition, we have to reconstruct that area. M&R or milling and resurfacing will not do. So we're in the process of planning for that. That means coming in, going deep into the ground, replacing the water lines, the gas service, changing the curbs, street lighting, handicap curbs. You're getting the full shot there. So a little bit of patience. We're gonna restore that street to a level that's gonna keep it in good shape for the next 60 years. So M&R just won't do. We need to make it happen. And believe me, there's a lot of people that are important to me that drive down that part of Goodman Street that call me on several occasions. So it's on our radar. It's going to be repaired, and hopefully that will satisfy your question on that.
You did. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioner, do you have a sense of timeline of when that would happen? That section?
We're in design now. We've got the request into the GTC, which is our MPO, the Genesee Transportation Council, which is our metropolitan planning organization that assists us with funding. So as we are in our design phase of this, it's probably 2 to 3 years out, but this is a major reconstruction.
Thank you. Any further questions on introduction number 130? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 131, authorizing an agreement for the milling and resurfacing project on Chestnut Street, East Broad Street to East Main Street, East Avenue, East Main Street to Alexander Street, and North Goodman Street, Peck Street to Bay Street, and Clifford Avenue to City Line. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move it.
Second.
And seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 132, authorizing agreements for material and environmental testing and exploratory drilling services. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move it.
Moved
Second.
and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 133, bond ordinance of the city of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $1,792,000 bonds of said city to finance the Priority Bicycle Boulevard implementation project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I'd like to just take a brief opportunity to thank the administration. This is a really significant investment into bicycling infrastructure, which I think is a huge part of the way that our city continues to get more green, the way our city continues to focus on transportation equity. And the bicycle boulevards are a huge part of that. And this is a significant investment. So kudos, and really looking forward to seeing it happen. Any other council members with a question or a comment?
Just a comment. Again, hats off to the administration and to Commissioner Jones. This has been a long time coming, and it's really nice to see these pieces moving at this time.
Couldn't agree more. All right, then I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introduction number 134, authorizing an agreement for the Priority Bicycle Boulevard implementation project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
I'm sorry, this is 136, right, Duran?
134.
Oh, sorry.
134.
Continue.
I take a motion, though.
Motion.
Move it.
So moved
Second.
and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 135, authorizing changes in traffic flow for the Priority Bicycle Boulevard Implementation Project. A public hearing to be held at 5 p.m. after the April 8th, 2021 committee meetings. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Please.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 136, authorizing an appropriation for the Pedestrian Safety Action Plan Phase 3. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
I do have a question.
Please, Councilmember Pio.
Thank you. The map got cut off. Is there anything north of the 104 for this, or is it all pretty much Center City area?
Councilperson Peel, we'll get you an updated map.
I appreciate it.
They'll show
Thank
you all the boundaries and all the parameters.
Thank you. I love your picture back there.
Yeah, it's special. It's special.
I do believe that that the Pedestrian Safety Action Plan Phase 3 touched all quadrants of the city, so getting some updated maps would be much appreciated. Any further questions or comments from council? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move to adopt. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 137, local improvement ordinance establishing the operation, installation, and maintenance costs of street lighting special assessment districts for 2021, 2022. A public hearing to be held at 5 p.m. after the April 8th, 2021 committee meetings. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Now I'll take a motion.
Sorry,
Oh,
question.
Go ahead.
For the Lake Ave portion, would that include the beach parking lot or no? Or are we on, I'm sorry, we're on 137?
Yes.
Yes.
So for the Lake Ave portion, I see it says 67 properties and 26 lights. Is any of that going to be in the actual parking lot to replace the lighting?
No, that would not be part of the parking lot lighting. We'll have a separate project to actually deal with the lighting concerns at the Port of Rochester and at the Ontario Beach Park. That will be in collaboration with Monroe County Parks.
Excellent. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Any further questions on 137? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move it.
So moved
Second.
and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 138, authorizing funding and an agreement for the Waring Road Improvement Project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I may just preempt Councilmember Patterson on this and say this is another project. It's been a very long time coming, and I know is very, very welcome by so many in the community. It's been really well planned and organized, and it's going to make a big difference. But Councilmember Patterson, if you want to say that as well, you're more than welcome to.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that too, but actually now I'm just gonna be a little greedy. So there's almost $5 million in anticipated reimbursements from the New York State Department of Transportation. And it is my hope that since we are contracting out the resident project representation services, that we could avail ourselves of the DOT training program and use some dollars and hire some of our local folks to get out there and do some of those inspection services.
Aha.
Aha.
I beat you. I beat you to it.
All right, let's hear it.
On this project, we're going to have recent re-job graduates doing the RPR work and inspection on Waring Road. How about that?
Yeah, you beat me to it. Yeah,
that?
all right, you win. I'm good.
How about that? Huh?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's been a long time coming too.
That wasn't the setup, but you know,
It really wasn't because I was grumpy.
But it's something that we do. So, Rejob, 5th year, one of the companies that have been participating with us for so long are going to have people from that program on our streets doing the inspection.
Are they going to go through the NYSET level certifications and everything too? We taking it through the full DOT process?
Our folks who've gone through Rejob are getting more than the NYSET certification. They're getting,
Okay, but
they're getting, yes, they will get that. Like,
okay.
it's something that I think we need to do a work session just to bring you up
Yeah,
on
that'd be
all
cool.
the great things that's going on with Rejob. I mean, it's just something that makes you feel good. So it's a feel good, it's a feel good story. And,
Well, since you fed me a little bit, I'm gonna ask for the whole ham. So can I get somebody on the training item side? Because DOT has got a training item for design also. Now, if you ain't there yet, I understand it, but since you feeding me, I'm keep eating.
well,
So this sounds
yeah.
like an opportunity. So Councilmember Patterson, if you would hook up with Commissioner Jones, I think there's a tremendous opportunity for us to do some more great work on this.
Oh, this is fabulous, Commissioner. This is really awesome. It's really, I'm just so happy. I don't even know what to say.
I need to shut my mouth because every time I talk, I get more work. I'm just gonna be quiet.
Well, it's always thank you, and can I have more? So
I think we're due for a motion on 138.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 139, bond ordinance, the city of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $1,385,000 bonds of said city to finance the cost of the Waring Road Improvement Project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Now I'll take a motion.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 140, a bond ordinance, the city of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $1,578,000 bonds of said city to finance water main and water service improvements associated with the Waring Road Improvement Project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move it.
It's been moved
Second.
and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 141, resolution authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance of 100% of the federal aid and state Marchicelli program aid eligible costs of a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefore relating to the Waring Road from Culver Road to Norton Street Improvement Project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move it.
Moved.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 142, local improvement ordinance establishing the operating and maintenance costs of special assessments for streetscape enhancement for 2021-2022. A public hearing to be held at 5 p.m. after the April 8th, 2021 committee meeting. Questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move it.
Moved.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
And finally, introductory number 143, local improvement ordinance establishing the cost of the special work and services related to Main Street improvements of the Downtown Enhancement District. Public hearing to be held at 5 p.m. after the April 8th, 2021 committee meeting. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Move it.
So moved
Second.
and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Well, before I close the committee for the moment, I would just say it feels, I could be jinxing us, but it does feel like we are entering construction season with the beautiful weather out there, and there's just some incredible things happening in this month's packet. So kudos very much, Commissioner Jones, Mayor Warren, and the DES team. And with that, I will conclude the Parks and Public Works Committee.
All right, let's see, we have everybody we need from the public safety end. I see the chief there. Do we have anyone from, see Commissioner Daniel Lemon Torres? Do we have anyone from RPD here as well? I think I do see someone. All right, at this time, the Public Safety, Recreation, and Human Service Committee call to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Vice President Lightfoot,
Present.
Councilmember Gruber.
Here.
Councilmember Harris,
Here.
Councilmember Peel,
Here.
President Scott.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Introduction number 144, authorizing an agreement for emergency telephone notification system services. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns? If
Motion
not,
to adopt.
Second.
been moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Introductory passes.
Clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Thank you. Introductory number 145, amending the 2020-2021 budget and appropriating federal forfeiture funds for evidence storage. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
And
Second.
Have been moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 146, authorizing a mandatory agreement for conflict counseling services. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a question, Vice President Lightfoot.
Councilmember Gruber.
Thanks. I appreciate the history and the data that the administration provided. The question I asked was about the dollar amounts the last 3 times this item was approved. And it ranged from about 39,000, 16,000, 26,000. And this request is for 82,000, which is a really significant increase. Can I just have an explanation as to, and I know that's a maximum, but it's a significant jump. Any explanation as to why that is?
Okay, the amount that was given, the 82.5, has been the amount spent, right? From the unspent portion.
I'm not sure I follow.
No, I don't.
Okay. Here we go.
So, good evening, everybody. This is Lieutenant Simmons. The $82,000 reflects the amount of cases that we have pending 75 parents, if they all were to go forward. Are we waiting on that answer? Or is that something we can?
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, we
Okay,
are.
so the amount that's put in there, the 82.5, is like a total of, if we had those amount of cases to go forward for an Article 75 hearing. So out of that, the money that you saw, the different amounts that were broken down for the different years, that's only the total amount we spent per those years for the specific Article 75 cases.
And so the last 3 times this was voted on, it was also voted on as a maximum compensation of 82.5, but
That is
those were just the spent dollar amounts that you provided.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Gruber, is that satisfactory?
I understand it. Yeah, I do. I wish I would have liked to kind of have a clearer sense of that from the question in agenda review, but that's potentially user error on my behalf. So I think I understand now.
Great. Any other questions, comments, or concerns for introductory number 146? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Then moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Introductory passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Introductory number 147, authorizing a license agreement for Attain Lab at the Jackson's R Center. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns?
President Lightfoot, I'd just like to let you know that I would have to abstain for this vote, and it was not noted in the transmittals or in the documents.
Thank you, Councilmember Harris. We will make sure that the clerk notes that. Any other questions?
That's because I am a board member for REOC.
Thank you for sharing and for disclosing. Any other questions, comments, and/or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
It's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And
Abstain.
we have one abstention. Thank you. Introductory passes.
The clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 401 into the record with Councilmember Harris abstaining.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Introductory number 148, a resolution adopting the Rochester Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns? They're very excited about this. Anybody want to comment? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Introductory passes.
Clerk will enter
Go
the
ahead.
affirmative vote of 5-0 into the record.
Thank you, Madam President. There's no other business to come before the Public Safety, Recreation, and Human Service Committee. We are adjourned.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please record my affirmative vote for the items in finance and NBD?
Yes.
And I would like to call the committee of the whole to order.
Councilmember Evans,
Present.
Councilmember Gruber,
Here.
Councilmember Harris,
Here.
Councilmember Lupian,
Here.
Councilmember Melendez,
Here.
Councilmember Patterson,
Here.
Councilmember Pio,
Here.
Vice President Lightfoot,
Here.
President Scott.
Here. There is
Thank
one item of business in the committee of the whole, which I will be holding in committee at this time. So that is the business for this committee. It is therefore adjourned. So we are done.
So public hearing at 5.
Yes.
Same
Yes.
same login information.
Yeah, it'll be on the same link, but since we have a good 15 minutes, I'll stop the live stream and we'll
Right.
go back live later.
All right.
Okay, before we go, and I guess it's okay to have this request. Would somebody please, we need to look at something with, I know that you all visited the animal shelter. Vice President Lightfoot? Did he go that quickly?
I'm here. I'm right here.
Okay. All right, we're gonna need to either have a work session or get a report or something regarding that facility, please.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
work. Yeah, I'll work to set that up with staff.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Madam President.